not really sure how to start this video. Hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Well, okay, so you may remember that 2 weeks ago, as soon as I got back to the UK, I took my 911 Carrera T to Yanamize and I got the car de-wrapped. Now, I did explain a little bit why and the reasoning behind it in that video a couple of weeks ago, but some of you might have missed it, so I'm going to explain things again. If you did see the previous video, feel free to skip ahead a couple of minutes because I'll probably be repeating myself. But yes, let's go all the way back to the end of last year when I collected the 911 Carrera T in its stunning GT Silver paint as it was delivered from the factory. As much as I loved that whole colour scheme, I always knew I wanted to turn the car green, and in fact I had a very special and specific green in my head. The problem was, that green didn't really exist as a vinyl. I just went through so many different vinyl wrap colour choices and sample things, I just couldn't find the green. But Bert at Yanamize came to my rescue, came up with a brilliant idea to create this kind of hybrid material of a satin vinyl with a gloss overlay, so sort of gluing two vinyls together, and it was the perfect colour. However, he did say at that time, he did warn me that I would be conceding on quality if I went that route. We obviously did go that route because you all know the car ended up green and I was super happy, but we did have some issues with the quality, and when the car arrived in Australia, I think the two materials were starting to come apart in some areas and it was bubbling up, and it looked brilliant in pictures and on video, but in real life it just didn't have that same usual quality that, well, Yanni's wraps have had before on previous cars that I've done with him. So I knew something was wrong. He was brilliant, the whole team was brilliant, they were always on call and they tried to suggest various ways to sort of help fix it, but we all agreed that the best solution was to rewrap the car whilst it was back here in the UK during the summer before it heads to America. However, in that time, Topaz, a company very famous for their paint protection films, launched a product called Topaz Skin. Now, I really need a professional, which I'll go and find in a second, to explain this properly, but effectively, it's paint, so it's like respraying or repainting your car, but it's on top of the factory paint. I'm still not sure I've explained that very well. Let me go and have a further look around, and then, yeah, I'll find a way to summarise this better. Can I say that you are the main man at Topaz? You're one of the head honchos here? Yeah. Myself and Maz. There you go. For sure. You can probably do a good job of explaining exactly what the product is, because I royally messed it up a second ago. So, in layman's terms, what is Topaz Skin?
Okay, the simplest way of explaining it is that it's a peelable paint.
Okay, right? So I didn't do that bad,
okay, that's the simplest way of explaining it. Going a bit more technical is basically you have your original colour. We apply 2 layers of a clear, basically a clear plastic, it seems like, okay. And then it's a paint, but it's a peelable paint. That's the technology part of Topaz Skin. So if you have an original, super exclusive car that you want to keep looking really exclusive and original,
sure,
you can still do Topaz Skin on it, make it look really good, fill all the defects, and then when it comes to taking off all the product, it's the original. It's got all the cracks and chips
the patina?
Yeah, patina,
it's
exactly.
A great word.
There you go.
Now we've got a lot of samples here, so I'm actually going to come around this side of the camera, because this is where for me it gets super interesting. So this right here is actually a little piece of the vinyl wrap that has been on the car for the last 6 months. And actually holding it up right there, you can see, well, we're going to call it an orange peel type sort of look,
aren't we? Distortion, exactly.
Paint distortion, there we go. So it's sort of vinyl distortion. It's really obvious holding this with the light sort of shimmering off it.
With the vinyl, easy to put on, it takes much less time to do than with painting a car, and relatively it's cheaper as well to do.
Coming here, I gave Nabil the same problem that I gave Yanni about 6 months ago. I said, look, I want this colour. I know there's some amazing Porsche exclusive colours out there, but I didn't want to change because I've fallen in love with the way the car looks and I wanted this. So, do you want to run us through exactly like what has been going on, I guess, the last couple of weeks and what you've been doing?
What you wanted, obviously, with this is to get the ultimate colour coming through, right? I can talk about this for ages.
I'm sure. We'll be careful here. It's going to be a 20-minute ad for Topaz Skin. Go on.
So basically, the reason why Topaz Skin you can get a really good finish and you can see the colour, the depth, is the lacquer gets sanded, and that's the peaks and troughs in the lacquer. So what makes the paint come through is that if you have the lacquer being totally flat, so no V shapes or U shapes, it's totally come flat like this, and the sun reflects, light reflects, and goes in all different angles, which gives you that effect of deep paint. Right?
Okay, the real
that's
richness.
the richness. When you go and go, oh wow, look how deep that paint is. It's because the lacquer is totally flat.
Well, so this is literally what we ended up with, because you have the unbelievable ability here to sort of colour match or take in the colour using a machine, and then find either an identical colour in some system of, I don't know what, like out there, like Jupiter or something, I don't know how it works. And so we're not going to reveal exactly what this colour is just yet, but this is a colour which you found on your system. This was something else that the computer threw up, but we saw in comparison it was a bit dark. And I would agree, these do look a little bit different, and obviously it's always going to be that way between paint and vinyl, but it's a pretty close match.
That's right, yeah, because it searched basically all the manufacturer colours, so everything that you could basically find. But then what I also did is I tweaked it a little bit as well.
Put a little special touch.
Trying to make it a bit more to what you want, and I sort of understand what you want.
Anyway, hopefully now you understand what Topaz Skin is, this amazing product, and I think enough chat, enough sell, let's go down and check out the car in its newly painted colour.
I can't wait to show you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's literally the same colour. And I'm saying that from a really good point of view.
Well, look at that. Look at the reflections. Look at my reflections.
It's mad. Hello. Yes, I literally can see both of us. It's crazy because such a tiny, theoretically subtle change has transformed the car.
I know. Whoa.
I mean, I think it's time for some serious B-roll on this beauty, because it needs to. And inside the doors. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Slow mo, coming in 3, 2, 1. Well, I can't count. Now, don't get me wrong, I am still a big fan, a big advocate of vinyl wraps. I've had a ton of them over the years, and some of them have really blown me away and looked almost like paint. But I don't think I can really use those words anymore, having seen the Topaz Skin product in real life and on my own car. The best way to summarise it is, take me and my obsession with Challenge Stradales, right? My dream spec Challenge Stradale is a red Rosso Corsa car with a tan leather interior. So in my mind, I thought, well, one day when I might end up wanting to buy a Challenge Stradale, I'm going to have to wait forever for a Rosso Corsa tan leather car, because there are so few of them made. However, there are quite a few TDF blue cars with tan leather interiors, and also black cars with tan leather interiors. Topaz Skin means that I could potentially buy one of those cars, bring it here to them, have it skinned or painted in Rosso Corsa, and have the car I'd always dreamed of, looking like it left the factory red. That to me just, because a vinyl wrap, no matter how good and great it could be, wouldn't ever look quite as nuts as this paint does. It is just ridiculous. It's not to say I will never vinyl wrap another car. The cost is hugely different, I will just say that. I also have to be completely upfront with you that Topaz have been amazing and helped me with the costs of this job, because I know lots of you are going to be like, I've painted a green car green, haven't I? But yeah, I mean, whoa, that was scary. I mentioned earlier that we weren't going to say exactly what colour this is. It is a tweaked variation, so we're actually going to put my own name or our own name on this colour, but it's based on a Rolls Royce olive. So this is not a Porsche colour, this is I've painted my Porsche a Rolls Royce colour, just to try and bring it some extra class. Fundamentally, it is a difference in price point, and that is reflected in what you're actually purchasing. But when you see this car up close, I think it's going to blow you away. And hopefully, in the videos and photos to come of this car out in the daylight and in America and all these different places I'm going to be taking it, you'll start to see just how stunning I believe it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Make sure to comment below, let me know your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.
So this is a competition Daytona, so like the other one at the office, but this is one of the factory cars, 15 for 15 built. And it was bought by someone in about 1975 and raced a little bit in the UK in 75, 76,